next topic has to do with the public debt, so we can chip, the various sectors and
so we are tackling free HSS.
Yes,
now.
and they're fixing the economy.
Fantastic.
Right.
Now, I always believe that leaders must always tell the people the truth, irrespective of how bad the situation is.
Yes.
Because even if the situation is bad and you tell the people, they will come to appreciate. Ohima, they say that a word is like a bullet. Once you release it, you can't call it back. So if you peddle falsehood today, and you say it and it goes out, you can't recall it back. You can't recall it. Sorry, that's tautology. You can't recall it. You see, so that is why it is especially important to be very truthful, honest, transparent, and speak with candor to the people. Now, you remember the former President Nana Akufo-Addo, put out a figure that the senior high school, the beneficiaries have been 5.7 million.
Right.
You remember?
Yeah.
This figure, we contested it, and we indicated that it was not correct. Yesterday, the president got a true, accurate figure of the same thing that was put out. That instead of 3.4 million, they chose to peddle a figure of 5.7 million as the beneficiaries of the free HSS. I remember later the Minister for Education came to say that it was an error. Mr. Agyekum came to admit that that 5.7 million figure is not correct, and that it is an error. It's deliberate. Today we are talking about ghost names in national service and others. I know that my former leader and the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Minister for Education, will peruse and go down to the bottom. I believe that there's something to see beyond these figures as more than an error. Because if they paid 5.7 million and now it's come down to 3.4 million, the 2.3 million that they made, you cannot make a mistake of 2.3 million. If it's anything at all, a few thousands is acceptable. Am I lying? But you cannot make a mistake to add 2.3 million to a figure and say that that is a mistake. So I think that we ought to go down bottom and investigate. For all you know, there can be ghost students. And for every single ghost student, there's a financial implication. There's some monetary value that goes with that one. So we need to probe that and ensure that nothing untoward happens there. Now I smell an elephant there. And I think that it's important for us to interrogate that. Now yesterday, President Mama made it succinctly clear, abundantly clear. In the course of the campaign, when we were going around, President Mama said it on the campaign platforms and others. And he used the word review. Review means to re-look at something with the intent to make it better. President Mama has stated this time without number. But the MPP in the course of the campaign chose to do propaganda with it. That President Mama is just doing propaganda with it. And that his real intention is to come and abolish the free HSS, which payment the MPP thought was their only campaign platform they could use to launch for votes. And so clearly President Mama chose yesterday's vote to make it abundantly clear to all Ghanaians that, and he said it, that I, John Dramani Mahama, and look at the emphasis, saying I. He wants Ghanaians to catch his attention and hear him well on that, so that if there's any doubting from us, or there's any propagandists like from the MPP who want to feast on the propaganda they were doing, to listen and get it without any iota of doubt again. Because Ohima, when President Mama says that this thing is a male, he's holding it by the balls. Say balls distinguish you as a male. So clearly, he wanted it to come out clear that the free HSS has come to stay. But what he will do is to undertake a comprehensive review to ensure that it works. We make it better. What are the areas the president can possibly look at to make it better? You are aware that under the aegis of the MPP, apart from paying the fees, very little was done in many areas of, especially infrastructure. We have this obnoxious traffic light driven policy that they were operating. Some people will go to school for, students will go to school for 3 weeks and come and sit home for 3 months. What kind of education is that? That you spend more time at home than you spend at school. Far more time at home than at school. What benefits of teaching and learning can you get under such a dispensation? So it's horrible. It was because of the depth of infrastructure, the lack of appropriate infrastructure for all the students to, the schools to have to facilitate teaching and learning. It was not there. You remember the NDC faced a similar problem when President Mills of blessed memory came as president, where they had to do emergency funding for the building of infrastructure in secondary and tertiary institutions. It's the same thing. So President Mama, yes, President Mama has indicated that he's going to undertake that aggressive pursuit of infrastructure to make sure that all the students go to school at the same time and they all come home at the same time. Oyema, school feeding. And I heard then people when Nana Akufo-Addo made his last bye-bye State of the Nation address, said that they had paid for all caterers. Not long after that, caterers assembled at the various Ministry of Education, Ministry of Gender and Social Protection and others. And their own gender minister was running away from the school feeding caterers. And that they had paid all the caterers. Patently false information. Caterers, as we speak now, are still lining up to be paid for the years of services they've rendered to many other schools. And so the school feeding program is going to be looked at and a dedicated source of funding, because like the MPP did, they just got things going without any dedicated source of funding, and so it was hanging in the air. When it came to time for payment, they have to scramble around to look for some few coins to go and pay and then leave the rest of it in arrears. Ohima, so that is it. Look at feeding. You go to the schools, and I went to my former school, Yeni Secondary School, during our audition, and I felt very sad. You look at the quality of the food. They say they are eating rice and beans. Kwame, sometimes you can count the number of beans in the rice. Just few. Okay? The quality of the food left much to be desired. And so it had to saddle parents that your ward was in school. You have to make sure that you stock a chop box full of food to go to school. No wonder when President Mahama assumed office, one of the critical decisions and actions the president had to take was to mobilize emergency food stocks to be evacuated to the schools. This is a president who doesn't just complain. And yesterday you heard him, right? The president said, notwithstanding the chaotic nature, the profound mess in which we are, he was not there to complain. He was going to fix it, and like he has fixed it before. So Hima, in that particular lesson too, we are talking about the role of even parent-teacher associations in helping in the management of schools. Under the MPP, they virtually proscribe the PTAs. You know why? Because they did not want a vibrant body like that to come out openly and speak about the deep extent of a deterioration in our secondary education. So they managed to petrify the PTAs into inaction. And they could not constitute themselves into a viable body to come and speak. President Mama has said that through his education minister, Honorable Haruna Disu, he's indicated that they should come out and speak. They should begin to function again as an integral part of the school management systems that has always existed and been known to make very positive contributions to our educational process. So they'll be back. They'll be back to contribute their quota to ensuring that this educational reforms that we are undertaking.
Yeah. And also the initiative that has been rolled out by the Education Minister, the Education Forum, that is ongoing in different regions.
Exactly. And that is why I thought it's another area. Go and see the extent of participation of supposed to be. They are not participating. You see, they take it that any program that is being rolled out by the Mahama government is something they should not participate in, because any credit that comes obviously will go to President Mahama. But if you open yourself up and allow many people to participate and there's credit, why not? Because they will not do that. Under their aegis and they assume that they knew it all. The NPP is a no-eat-all-out party. And so that is where they are. That is why they are where they are today. Because no human being, no matter how knowledgeable the Almighty Allah has created you, you will never know everything. In fact, you may not even know most things, not even everything. Most things, you will be an ignoramus in most things. You can know as many things as possible. But in the spheres of life, you cannot know most things. And so that is why seeking the collaboration and knowledge and expertise of others will enrich the content of your legislation so that you can do better. So this National Education Forum and the dialogue that President Mahama has instituted is a fantastic piece to get all, especially stakeholders in the educational system, very astute professional educators, teachers, professors, lecturers, parent-teachers associations, all of them, coming down together to debate the issues of education will definitely produce very good ideas. So that going forward, I am very confident that at the end of the edition, the implementation, which for me has always been the Achiaa seal, must be taken when the dialogue series produces those results. We must not leave it to gather dust. And I'm very confident that President Mahama, having put it together with that level of sincerity and commitment, will endeavor to implement the findings and recommendations of the educational dialogue process, and ensure that it inures to the benefits of our educational system. I want to say without any act of hesitation that this, together with the provision of adequate infrastructure, you heard the president say that he's going to work, he has directed his finance minister to work for the uncapping. And let me explain this as a former member of parliament, that under the MPP, what they had done was, if a budgetary allocation is given to, say, the GET fund and the district assembly common fund, GET fund, and then the national health insurance levy, the finance ministry puts, say, a figure 70%. So out of the 100% that you should have gotten, they will take about 30% of your allocation back to the finance ministry. It is one of the most senseless, and you cannot understand why a finance minister would have done that. Well, because already those funds are not enough for those entities to be able to meet their obligations. Then you further take as much as about 30% back to the finance ministry to go and do what at the finance ministry. So President Mahama said that capping, that obnoxious capping policy will be taken away. And those institutions get fund. For instance, we allowed a full complement of its 100% budget so that it can undertake an aggressive pursuit of infrastructure. So they will build more schools, they will build more science laboratories, they will open up more centers of infrastructure in the secondary and tertiary areas. And they will be better served in our country. And for me, I think that this is a very innovative and visionary policy President Mahama has espoused. And I think that we can work together as partners. So Sabo, as a
working together as partners, that brings me to Sabo. Agyekum is accusing the MPP of planning or plotting to boycott some of these national dialogues that the president spoke about yesterday. And this obviously can be described as, you know, running a government of national unity, which is pertinent in the spectrum of development. How true is this?
Just before Sabo comes in, from here, Pan-Africa, go to the MPP headquarters and have an interview with the General Secretary. Sabo's ideas. Sabo doesn't make policy for the MPP.
No, if
Sabo was making policy for the MPP, when he was even recommended to be MC, they jettisoned him before he got father. So he's not.
Sabo, let me.
He doesn't make that policy.
Come through with, you know, I don't know if it's going to be a clarification or dispelling what what Honorable Agyekum is saying. I don't know what it's going to be, but yes.
My brother is trying to spoil the morning.
I'm not mischievous.
In fact, in his absence, I said so many nice things about his president. Is that not it? And I thought we should have continued on that tangent. See, in the first place, let me tell you, the Ogumbes have a saying that it is the reason for a call that one will refuse a call, but not just the calling. So if my party is trying to boycott the economic dialogue, I don't think just for the, what do you call it, name of it, just economic dialogue. I mean, who would want to boycott something like that? But maybe there are some conditions that have not been met. Of course, definitely even my security alone, Kurano, will let me tell you that I cannot come to your house. You might call me to your house, I'll be willing to come. But maybe if I feel that there is danger coming to your house, if you don't do X, Y, Z, then I will not come. So, we need to go further and find out why. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the posture of NDC recently, in fact, doesn't look friendly at all. You agree with me? Even when our flag bearer even came out, which has never happened in this country, very early to accept defeat. Look at what even went on the streets of Ghana, across the length and breadth of this country. Even up to date as we speak. Some of them still even sometimes just see you and then they try to throw one or two insults at you and other things. But we've been trying to contain them. We've been trying because they are our brothers.
Are used to in the political landscape, is it not?
No, not everybody. I have never.
In opposition.
No.
I'm not
Listen. If you say that, then you are giving credence to such negative.
No, not giving credence to it, but it's what we know, what we're used to. That's the reality.
What I'm trying to establish here is that it has never happened like it has happened this time before. That even the party has come to concede defeat.
Okay.
That we have accepted, we have lost.
No, it has happened before.
What again do you have to do?
But in 2020, President Mahama conceded.
Yes.
Where? He has never.
In 2016.
Let me tell you.
Based on what I remember.
Give me the slide.
Professor Mills.
Yeah.
Professor Mills has ever conceded defeat.
So you said it never happened. I'm telling you that President Mahama 2016.
He has never conceded defeat.
President Mahama in 2016.
You are bringing an issue.
It is not very happy what you have got here.
No, it was 2016 that he conceded.
He has never. He has never. He has never.
He considered in 2016.
He has never. It's on record.
President
Mahama has never conceded.
I remember. It took some time because Ghanaians.
Please.
Because Ghanaians were.
Let me make my assumption. I am telling you, look, I will say this 1 million times. And I'll be proved right that but you have the records, you have the archive. Bring any listen. Where President Mahama publicly considered defeat that yes, I have agreed that this election has been won.
So how then was there a transfer of power? How then was
Let me come.
There was no problem in 2016.
Let me come.
Yeah.
Didn't you go to court?
In 2020.
That's 2020.
Yeah.
Didn't you go to court?
He did.
Yes. So why should that he considered? 2016 he didn't. I am telling you 2016. I remember very well 2016.
Look. Okay.
You are in the media listen. Go and check it. Okay. No, look, let me make my submission. President Mahama has never considered defeat in his life. He has never. If you say Professor Mills, yes. He was a nice gentleman.
The initial statement was that they
have because for 2016, just as the NDC won with a huge margin, that's the same way the NPP won with a huge margin. And so there wasn't a way that he could have gone to court or not agree to,
in fact, they wanted to even go to court.
Pan-Africa can help.
They even wanted to go to court.
How so? Because I remember quite well that in 2016, it was quite a smooth transition.
I am the type. I would have said that, oh yes, in fact, he ever did that. And I am telling you.
Okay.
And it's not like I'm pretending. Okay. I know and I'm pretending. Okay. That's why I said that, I stand to be corrected. Okay. If indeed he did concede defeat. He never. Mm-hmm. And there's no any record to prove this. Let me go. So, like I said, so maybe the party might show intention not to attend this dialogue based on the conditions that are put in there. Of course, definitely, but not just for what reason? We all want the good of this country. And we have been the better managers of this country than any other party in this country. And the records are there for everybody to see. You see, let me start with the free SHS. In fact, my elder brother made some statements that I think I need to correct them. He said, one, that students spend more time in the house than in school. That they go and spend some weeks and come and spend about 3 months.
Based on the traffic rights?
No student has ever spent 3 months in the house. No student. But the point is, the most important, the critical issue that we should have been looking at is that what kind of students were we able to churn out with this policy? What is the percentage listening in passing and the rest? Far, far, far better than what the NDC handed over to us. And even as we speak, in fact, I think the two, when the West African descent, I think 2 of them, first and second, they all came from Ghana. Am I right? As we speak, some have even had international scholarships that they are out there studying medicine and the rest. So what are you talking about? Is it not to educate our children? And if we have achieved that, what is the problem? Even if they are sitting on the tree learning, and yet they are able to make progress to universities and come out as products, a good product. I mean, what is the essence of education? It's not to acquire knowledge. Haven't they acquired the knowledge? So what are you lamenting about? What are you talking about? That is it. And then the issue of the caterers. Again, I sit here to say. In fact, Honorable Afenyo even mentioned it. Yeah. Why didn't they challenge him there? Because that's a house of records. That's a house of records. Why didn't they challenge him there?
There was an opposing, reaction to
that.
And
I'm saying that. That is why he wanted even instant then on. Because when they even started this debate, not everybody will be able to watch it like the way they watched it yesterday. So he just wanted to set the record straight. That's why he mentioned it there, so anybody to challenge and then he point them to the figures. There is no any decision that has not been paid, any caterer that has not been paid. It is true that they demonstrated. In fact, they started in Ashanti. If you remember, and the regional minister even said something that later on he had to come and apologize and other things. But all of them have been paid before we handed over power. So what are you talking about? You see, please, you have won. Think of how to govern us. Think of how to smoothly. About Pan-Africa, it's going to say Pan-Africa viewership. If you go to the north, I don't know much down south here. Out of 100%, about 80 or 90 something % of them are NDC.
We are talking about caterers.
And of course, those who call they are all NDC. Even as it here, even let's finish this and we'll look at the comment section. They would have been insulting me.
No, I don't think.
I've never. Oh no, by true. I hardly get somebody praising me for saying 1 or 2 things. They will all be insulting me. But for me, of course, for me, I think the most important thing is that today that maybe I'm around and they may not see my value. But when I'm not there again, when I'm dead and gone, then maybe when they go and watch my old tapes on Pan-Africa, they will see that, of course, I was doing my best to contribute my quota. You see? And then, what do you call it? The issue of students being fed well. This president, have they read any budget?
Not yet.
So what have they brought on board that has changed the quality of food in the schools? The very food that they were saying that they were expired food and the rest is the same food that they are feeding the students with. And even that one, but later on, they came to establish that it was a mistake. But they used it to win election. That we're giving the students expired food, the same food that they are providing the students today, and they are even saying that they are now better fed. So why do you want to take credit where you have not actually done anything?
There was an emergency dispatch of food to most schools.
Where from that food?
I'm not sure, but it is not from the buffer stock that the NPP left
please.
Was managed.
If you say there was an emergency dispatch of food, from where? That food, where is it from? The
president made those or gave that directive and.
No. Why is the president today? He can give directives that all the Agenda 1111 should be halted. I mean, they should be demolished. He can give those directives and the rest. They should be demolished. Oh no, yeah, I'm just trying to tell you that the power how they get
he has
the authority to give directives. And I'm saying that where from that food that he gave directives that they should take it to the schools. Where's the food coming from?
So the food was already there.
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yes. Challenge.
But we're also getting stories that the buffer stock was empty. They were being looted, among other things.
These are some of the things that I don't like in Pan-Africa. When he was speaking, I mean, you allow him to flow. But
no, I just want to be clear on some of the things you're saying.
Most of the things he said I was not clear, but I had to keep quiet and then jot them down. I was not clear because
please make your point.
Here's the case. I'm challenging all those things.
Okay.
But I could have challenged him head on.
Okay.
And the rest, yes. So you see, I am saying that those food that the children are eating today, President John Dramani Mahama has not added anything to the stock as we speak today. He is yet to come with his budget. And that's how governance is all about. Unless, and it's quite apart from that, he should give an instance where the students were sleeping hungry, where they were not eating. The best they could say was that they bad quality, this and what, and other things. All of us have been in the boarding house before. I don't know much about, but our days. I mean, there was some food, I forgot some of them, we call it grease. I don't know. I think it was rice and beans and then the stew. So yes.
We used to call it gas.
Thank you. No, yes, gas rather. Sorry, gas. Thank you. You've also come to meet those things. Was it something good for you?
Manageable.
Yes. Because even sometimes, in fact, if you have better shito, you rather go and then do your gari and shito and leave that particular food there. Or you rather take the rice and beans, get your gari and your shito, and then eat with those things and the rest. So at least in school, we normally don't get it like the way we get it our various homes. It has always been like that. But nonetheless, alhamdulillah, the kind of students that have been churned out by this system are far better than all the NDC regime put together, the kind of students that they churn out. Far better. And the records are there. This one, I'm not the one saying it. You see, and then PTA. PTA has never been abolished. I'm a parent, and I'm a teacher too. So I belong to the two groups. It's just that now I'm no more in the classroom. PTA has never been abolished. My school, in fact, I hardly attend PTA, but my wife attends, and the rest. Quite apart from that, even as a director of communications, I used to get reports because of our free SHS that some schools, they are even charging, and then they'll bring me the tip, and it is like the parent was in the meeting when the school was actually telling them the kind of money that they should bring for registration, all those things. So what meetings were they holding? What was abolished by our regime was the PTA dues.
Okay.
That was abolished, that no parent should pay any dues. The government has absorbed everything. But government never stopped parents from attending any meeting concerning the welfare of their children in the school. Okay. So they should say that one. That kind of populist, this and that, they came to present yesterday, calling it, and the State of a Nation's address turned out to be a complaint. Okay. State of a Nation's address is all about what you've come to meet and what you intend to do.
Do you think yesterday's State of the Nation departed from what you are just...
Let will come. How many minutes did he use to complain about things? And let me tell you, and most of the things that he complained about, let me take you one after. This man is saying that the economy has been turned into a crime scene. Is that not it?
Right.
I have said it repeatedly. I don't know the book that he's getting this idea from. However, the records available to us as we speak today, all the economic indicators are there. And unfortunately for him, he's not a new president. He's the very president who handed over to the previous government. So the records are there for themselves. Is he trying to tell us that what he handed over to us today, as what we're handing over to him, are far worse off than what he handed over to us? Then let's go one after the other. GDP growth rate. John Dramani Mahama handed over GDP growth rate of 3.4%. We have handed over 6.3%. And even his regime, there was no any disaster. Nothing happened. Nothing. There was no any economic meltdown. But in ours, with all the economic this and the rest, we handed over a GDP growth rate of 6.3.
Let me get to you.
Let me come.
Are you saying
let me come.
This one. You have handed 6.3.
Yes, 6.3.
This one.
This one.
God of mercy.
6.3.
God of mercy.
No. If you go anywhere,
I'm not a Christian, but this one, yes.
No. Go anywhere and check.
But it will take us, you know, the half present time. Yes. So it will take us, you know, quite some length of time to break it down, going one after the other. Comparison.
No. But let it come.
Yeah.
He said that we have turned the economy into a crime scene.
Right.
I
think it's predicated on corruption-related issues.
Even if it's predicated on corruption-related issues, what I am trying to establish here is that all this thing will draw the economy, will eat into the economy, the very fiber of the economy. Is that not it? Thereby making the economy look unhealthy.
I agree.
And that is what he's trying to establish. And I am saying that we have presented and handed over to him a more resilient economy than the kind of economy he handed over to us in 2016. And that is where I was trying to make the comparison.
Okay.
That 2016 vis-a-vis 2024 economy that the two presidents have inherited. And let's see which one was more crime scene. Are you getting me? Even the banking sector, as we are speaking today, as we are speaking, the outlook of the banking sector, where is it? Let me just get it and then let you know. Listen, total assets of the banking sector in 2016 was 81.2 billion. Total assets of the banking sector, as in 2016, was 81.2 billion. But today, as we speak, total assets of the banking sector is 367.2 billion. Today, as we speak. And that is a record. I am mentioning figures, so I am not like saying just talking so that you cannot even catch me. It's something that you can Google, you can check everywhere and find out. So, quite apart from that, in fact, the industry sector, the economy of this country, I mean, it's three areas that actually propels the economy of this country. And I think first it was being led by the agricultural sector. But now service sector has taken over. Is that not it? Followed by the agricultural sector, then followed by industry. And all these areas, we outperformed them. So I find it very difficult to understand the economic, the crime scene.
That's what I'm trying to say, that I think it had to do with the corruption-related issues in terms of Galamsey, in terms of state funds, looting. In terms of
even Galamsey.
Yeah.
Even if you should go there,
even when you take the NSA issue, for instance.
Even Galamsey, when we go there, we did far better in checking, controlling Galamsey than they did in 2016. Didn't we come to inherit Galamsey-prone country?
Really?
Wasn't it the first thing that we came to face? You forgot it. Up to a point that in this country, they were going around saying that people's livelihood, I mean, they are citizens, they are natives.
But how come the issue of Galamsey was rife in your government?
This pastor normally have something that he's been saying, Pastor Otebel, that scientists only discover knowledge, but they are not the inventors of knowledge.
Right.
Are you getting me? So Galamsey was already there, but because we wanted to approve Galamsey, it became an issue for the whole nation to realize that Galamsey. In fact, there were some people who are somewhere part of the country, they didn't even know there's something called Galamsey in this country. But it became very popular in the country. Everybody now know Galamsey because we're after Galamsey. That is how it became news in the country. And I am saying that, look, the records are there. I'm not happy. In fact, I sat here where Kwame was seated where you are. And I said, as a citizen, I'll be very happy if this current president is able to nip
this, in the bag.
Yes, in the bag. Haven't getting it. In fact, all of us will be very happy.
Right.
Because today, as we speak, the water that we drink in Accra here, in fact, are from the rivers. The very rivers that they are polluting. You might think that this water that we are seeing, although they go through purifications and other things, but it will come to a time that when the turbidity level of the water becomes so high, the water will become very expensive. We'll be compelled to maybe to go and import water from outside, which will make it very expensive. So listen, in fact, it's not unfortunate your this thing didn't give me. There are so many things that I put down that I wanted to check. In fact, the performance of the city recently and the rest.
Yeah.
Yes, and then like I said, the private sector and all others. In fact, all these areas in the economy, in fact, have been far better than we took over in 2016. Okay. But it is just that Ghanaians, and you have to respect the views of Ghanaians. Ghanaians just decided that enough is enough. You have done your part. We want to see what he can also bring to the table. And I think so what he should be telling Ghanaians today is that, yes, indeed, I have come on board. And that these are the things that I am going to roll out. These are the things that I'm going to do. The same person who is saying that the economy has been manhandled, has been gang raped, and the rest, is the same person telling us that he's not going to IMF, and yet he's going to fix the problem. Where is he going to get the money from? Where is he getting the money from to fix the problem if the economy is in total mess, as he's describing it? So where is he getting the money to fix them? We're not going to IMF. So you can see the hypocrisy in the presentation of the SONA yesterday. But nonetheless, for us, we will still study the SONA very well. The lessons in it that are good, we will take them. Lessons in it that are injurious for the consumption of the public will come to let the public know that these are the records. Hence, the true state of the nation's address will also be presented. Okay,
right. Kwame, let me come to you. Now, because we are, time is not on our side, and then they have mentioned the lamentation aspect of the SONA rather than spelling out what the true state of the nation is. Where do we then draw the line of spelling out what the reality is and what complaining or lamenting is? And also, if you can chip in President Mahama's, dedication that he put out there yesterday to fix the country and matters relating to making the free SHS better.
All right. Thank you very much. I nearly dozed off. Well, I mean, I have made this point, and I will rehash it again, that I'm happy with the new President Mahama. I think this Mahama is different from the Mahama we used to know prior to 2016. This Mahama is very serious, very forthright, very focused, and very determined. This new Mahama knows exactly what he wants. This new Mahama is indicating to the good people of Ghana that my second coming is about legacy. That my second coming is about attempting, at least, at the very least, to deal with the fundamental teething challenges confronting the good people of this country. And so I'm happy with the current disposition and countenance of this new President John Dramani Mahama. This new Mahama appears to be somebody who will not shield and encourage his appointees to do damage and rape the resources of the state. This new Mahama is telling his appointees and telling the good people of this country that I have made a promise to you, that I've signed a social contract with you, and I am committed to fulfilling every ounce, inch, ink of that promise to the good people of Ghana. And it was quite demonstrable in the speech delivered and presented in the presence of Parliament yesterday, when he was fulfilling his constitutional obligation to the good people of this country. Indeed, my big brother Sabo is very right when he says that the core function, or rather the purpose of any State of the Nation address, is to give an account of the current state of the economy and what you intend to do as a new government or as a continuing government in addressing the current state of the economy. Now, it is instructive, therefore, to find out whether or not the President John Dramani Mahama did exactly that. Now, the President John Dramani Mahama failed in dealing with the first part, which is letting us know the true state of the economy per se, because he said he does not want to lament. And that, hold on please. The first part of his submission, the president said, I do not want to lament. And I was smiling, I was happy that at least we have a president who is not coming to tell you that, oh, there's looming energy crisis, that, oh, the public sector debt is so and so, that, oh, this is that, oh, this is that my predecessor this, that my predecessor that my... Do you understand what I'm saying? This man came prepared and said, listen, albeit that it is axiomatic to all of us that we are bedeviled and riddled with huge debts, I am not going to go back to the conventional, if you like, precedent set by previous and past administrations in relation to addressing their first State of the Nation address. I'm going to veer away from that convention of always blaming your predecessor. I came to meet challenges. I've acknowledged them. However, let's move beyond the peripheries of those challenges and forge a path of progress. And that's what he sought to do. Number two, it is worthy of mention, or to mention, that the president signed an undertaking and reaffirmed his oath and commitment to the generality of the good people of this country who sought to give him an unprecedented, overwhelming victory in the 2024 elections. And he made the solemn promise and undertaking in Parliament to the good people of Ghana by unequivocally opining that I, John Dramani Mahama, albeit that we are in a state of economic quagmire, just as I fixed Dumso before leaving 2016, I will fix the economy. I thought that as a nation of forward-thinking people, or if we were a nation of forward-thinking people, we would have now begun asking questions about, Mr. President, this is a very welcoming news. Can you please tell us how you will do it and how we can all support you in fixing the economy? Because look, Oima, if and when the economy is fixed, all of us will be happy. We are not enemies of ourselves. We cannot be enemies of ourselves. We cannot sacrifice the freedom of the country on the altar of satisfying your political or parochial political interest. Our freedoms must not be imprisoned, or the economic freedom must not be imprisoned by reason of your own political interest, partisan political interest. So all of us must be united in assisting and helping the driver get his hands on the wheel, his foot on the pedals, and drive us to our economic destination. That is what we, as patriotic citizens of this country, ought to do. So I am not at all excited that when an opportunity was given to the minority in parliament to comment on the State of the Nation address, they sought to reduce that opportunity to scoring some political points. That the president failed to acknowledge some of the things which were done by the Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Why did you, so acknowledging for what? We are done with that chapter. We have moved on from that page. That page is long gone. We don't want to revisit the exigencies of the past. We want to focus on the now and the future. So what did you want His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to praise Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo for? Because if we wanted to go into parliament to sing the praises of previous administration, then we would have reduced the State of the Nation address to lamentations. Because obviously, in praising, you must also find the faults. Not so? President Mahama did not want to do that. Now, look, President Mahama sought to also give us a sense of his direction in terms of where he wants to take the country to. Spoke quite eloquently about how he intends to form some, bring together some stakeholders through the National Economic Dialogue Program Forum, so that all of us, Sabo, ABA Fuseni, Kwame Usudanso, Dr. Valentin Mensah, Dr. Shitu, all other persons or well-meaning Ghanaians will come together, we will judge, we will fashion out what is plausible and what is not, in order that we can salvage what is left of the economy. He has admitted with alacrity that even though I'm the President of the Republic of Ghana, I am not Mr. Know-it-all. And I cannot say that I have the wherewithal alone to rebuild our broken economy. Come, let's all do this together. And we are doing it for and in the interest of the good people of this country. Number two, Mr. President also quite eloquently and forcefully made us aware that some of the ministries and agencies were going to start the 24-hour economy. And he was very quick to mention specific ministries, because those ministries have indeed, the ministers who are superintending over those ministries have by themselves come out to say that we intend to do X, Y, Z, which will lead us to the 24-hour economy. A case in point is the Ministry for Foreign Affairs. Kunyetoa Blackwell is on record to have indicated that his ministry intends to introduce some policies and projects which will ensure the effective start of the 24-hour economy. The courier system will be introduced. That passports will be processed and issued within a specified period of time. So President Mahama was quick to mention that. President Mahama was also quick to mention about some of the strides that we have made in some other ministries, because the ministers themselves are being very proactive. This brings me to this quick point that I ought to make, that every minister, because you see, it's only 60, so if you are not working, we will see it. So every minister who has been given the privilege of being part of this government and the honor of serving the good people of Ghana must discharge their duties and obligations to the good people of Ghana without let or hindrance. That they are servants of the people of Ghana, the president being the chief servant. So all the other ministers who are not working or who are not seen to be working must get their acts right and begin to work. the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Madame Lindo Klu, and I think that I need to mention her for praise, that she made a promise a day after her vetting that she was going to make sure that she fixed all the street lights in Accra. And I'm happy to announce that she has started. In fact, the bridge stretch is being fixed. The Nungwa or something like that is being fixed. So, and people are tweeting about it. They are happy that at least for the first time, you have a minister who has made a promise and is fulfilling it. The president was also able to quickly comment on the issue of the energy sector because the minister is seen to be working. The president was not quick to mention Galamsey because Galamsey is a very, very tricky area. We may have all the good intentions of wanting to deal with the issue of Galamsey. We all know the negative effect associated with the practice of Galamsey. However, it is not a fight that we can sit in the comfort of our rooms and think we can fight. This is a deep-seated perennial issue, and we must begin to have broader stakeholders conversation in relation to how we will deal with the issue of Galamsey. Because when I had the privilege and the singular honor of going on the 2024 campaigns, I had the opportunity to engage with some of the young people in the Galamsey communities. And they were very quick to tell me and admit, really, first of all, to admit that they know that what they are doing is wrong. They know. However, there is no other means of survival. Some of them, in fact, told me that, Mr. Danso, do you want us to go and rob? We can't go and steal. What do you want us to do? Mr. Danso, look at the agricultural sector. Mr. Danso, when we grow our cocoa, look at how much we earn. When I come on the Galamsey site and I do lala, I make more money to take care of my mother who is in the village, to take care of my wife, and pay my children's school fees. So it is a bigger issue than we think. It's a means for survival. Now, how do we surmount the insurmountable? How we can do that is to have a stakeholder conversation with these people in the areas where they mine. Let's not treat them like outcasts. They are not outcasts or criminals. They are not criminals. We may tend to disagree with their action or omissions, their actions or omissions. However, in order that we can address this and nip it in the bud, we need to have broader conversations with these people, just as we are doing with the educational system. You know that now, I think they've been to 6 or 7 regions so far, gathering data. Sabo, we don't know it all. The people in the villages, the things they know, and the solutions they can proffer, you have no idea. So let's engage them, speak with them, find out how we can all come together to deal with the issue of Galamsey. And I'm happy that the president did not talk about it. Because if he did, he would have shot himself in the foot. And Asabo Mebwa. Even the president, former president, said, I am putting my presidency on the line. You have a minister who was flying helicopter all over the place, you know, pretending to be working, and nothing. So it is a very delicate and complex situation. I do pray and I know that at some point, all of us will come to the table, fashion out a practical solution that will, in a final analysis, deal with the issue of Galamsey. Because, Sabu, all the armed robbery cases, you don't hear them anymore. Because most of these guys have gone to the mining sites. So, we should be careful that in addressing one problem, we should not be creating another. Because in completely dealing with the issue of Galamsey, if you are not careful, and if you don't provide any other alternative means of survival, you would be opening another door for chaos. So we should be very, very, very measured. And I'm happy the president did comment on it. In conclusion, Ohima, because I know your time is up, is that, look, we have a duty as a nation to fix our country. Nobody is going to fix our country for us. Nobody. And it's not as though we do not have the people, the experienced people in this country to help fix our problems. We do have them. We have the technocrats. We have well-intentioned people in this country who have packed their conscience behind their actions, and they can be in full support of the president in order that we can deal with our own challenges in this country. We need to look within. We need to be extremely patriotic. We need to veer away from the system of extreme partisanship. We cannot be partisan, but extreme partisanship is injurious and a violation of the principles of patriotism. We do not have to toe that line, because countries which have focused so much on extreme partisanship have not benefited from the knowledge or the fountain of knowledge that the people are endowed with. So President John Dramani Mahama, I am very confident, will succeed. But if we want him to succeed at 100%, we must all support him, because it is not them against us. It is us against us. So if NDC succeeds, all of us do benefit. If tomorrow you went to the fuel pump and fuel price has reduced to 2 Ghana cedis, the person serving you the fuel will not ask you whether you are NDC or MPP. If you went to take trotro and the price has reduced to 10 pesos, the mate will not ask you whether you are NDC or you are MPP. If you went to Makola Market to go and buy tomatoes, and the Tasty Tom tin is sold to you for 10 Ghana cedis, the person selling will not ask you whether you are NDC or MPP. And so we must all be indignated by leaders' inability to addressing our issues. And if we are all indignated, then if we have leaders who are willing to sit at the table with you to have discussions about the way forward, you must avail yourself and support that cause, so that together we can all free ourselves from the shackles of poverty, from the shackles of inequality, and from the shackles of underdevelopment. I thank you.
Well, thank you very much to you, Kwame, and thank you to you, gentlemen. We have just 2 minutes to log out. And then I also need to read some messages from our viewers. Ken Williams says, Salut chérie, bonjour à tout le monde. Enchanté de vous voir après une longue absence. Okay.
You speak French?
I do, but not fluently.
C'est très bien, eh?
I just read it quite impressively, but I...
You can't speak. Hey, you are flex like that.
Not in you know. A little code switching is useful on Pan African TV.
French ambassador.
Yeah. My special greetings to our living legend on your show. He deserves to be celebrated for his exploits in the media. Many of us learned a lot from his educative articles, editorials on current affairs to build our ESL career. Indeed, he was a true role model and inspiration to many literature students. Now that he is out of politics, we wish him the best in his future endeavors in the diplomatic mission where he deserves to be. Remember us when you get there. Honorable ABA Fuseni. Good morning, Ohima. Good morning to you. Thank you for your message. All right, this one says, Ohima, kindly ask him who were, he's talking about Sabo, if any one he knows attends SHS. My son attended SHS at Keta, and I live in Accra with my family. My son stays home for 3 months on vacation, and he is And what is he saying? I'm sorry, I do not want to mention to him what the reality is. He must learn to speak the truth. Or him, Mr. Dancer has a good sense from pensioner. Right. Okay, thank you for your message. This one says, good morning, Ohima. I am really enjoying the show, and indeed, I must say, without any bias, that the current president is really unwilling to take this country out of hellfire. And the immediate past administration threw us, the English, threw us into the fire. As I praise the president, the majority caucus in parliament should not fall as prey for the minority. The government should not also forget the overwhelming mandate was deductively mainly based on expectations of proper accountability, employment, and other factors. All right, thank you very much for your message. Let me do two more. Unfortunately, we can do just two given the time we have. Yeah. Honorable, our time is up.
But I thought at least it's fair on the economy when I was going to speak a bit.
Yes, but
Kwame, you said that
it has also to do with the time that you came in.
So no, but it's not because the time I came in they were speaking.
Yes.
So it didn't take away my time.
They started the show.
So they started.
Mm-hmm.
They had
but you were supposed to be here to start with them.
That's
so
what I'm saying. When I came, the second man was having his 10.
Yeah.
So it didn't spoil anything.
But Honorable, you had your 10.
No,
I started with this, and you told me that on the economy, and you told me that the economy I should wait.
We were even coming there. We couldn't even tackle that subject.
At least give me some 10 minutes.
That's subject of. No, 10 minutes. My producer just cut the show over.
Tell your producer, look, Kwame.
So maybe you should have an extended conversation.
Yeah, we will have maybe on David's show.
So this one.
But we couldn't even tackle the public.
Because look, Sabo has.
He says 5 minutes. So I'll give you 5.
Let's give our big brother 5 minutes. No, what is he going to say? No, let him say.
No, ABA. So let me just use 1 minute to read this last message.
No,
not flag it. You see, he's laughing.
You spoke.
He will definitely touch me.
No, I won't touch Sabo. I will touch MPP.
Okay, let me do this Good morning to guests. About feeding of free SHS students. It is not only true that the current government uses food from buffer stock to feed students. Rather, students are made to buy their own food. PTA was changed to PA. How on earth should parents of a school meet to discuss issues relating to the school and offer support where necessary without teachers who actually know the challenges confronting their wards in the school? It should be noted that PTA and PA are not the same. Thank you very much for your messages, but we're giving Abia Fuseni a few minutes to do his analysis on the economy, the state of the economy, and then but Abia, we'll stick to the 5 minutes. Now it's even 3 or 2.
I believe there is flexibility for 1 or 2 other minutes,
yeah.
No problem.
1 or 2.
Let me say very fast that on the food issue that Sabo mentioned, that there was already food. And that is even a more amazing argument to make. That there was food and there was starvation in the schools, and the government didn't care about evacuating those stocks of food to the schools. Incredible. Then people should run away from that argument fast, because they are making the matter worse when they tell Ghanaians that there was food and students were starving. The issue about economic growth, there's indices are clear. If we had time, I could have read from inflation, foreign exchange, national debt, and others. And all the indicators, the NDC was far more superior and better than the NPP. I can read if inflation 50%, you took us at a point to 54%. Those things are at least forest from 4 cities, you have taken us to 60 cities plus. So those is your record is worse. Don't mention them. Look, Oima, the president did not consign the state of the nation to a litany of complaints. Indeed, he complained even less. People expected the president to even dissect the economy like the finance minister. I'll tell people the president is not the finance minister. The finance minister will give details about the economy. The president is to give a cursory overview. And when the finance minister on the 11th, trust me, and I want you to mark it down. When the finance minister comes on the 11th of March, you'll be more than impressed about the work that he's doing, because he's a very competent and accomplished figure. But Ohima, the national debt was staggering. Over 731 billion. 21 billion. Oyema. That is what the NPP in 8 years have accumulated because of the reckless, irresponsible. And sometimes that's why they say near criminal borrowing. They were borrowing because Kenofodata, for every dollar he borrows, made money for his company, his companies. Data Bank was doing the book running, and Enterprise Insurance was doing the insurance. So, one Ghana cedi he has not given to any of you. You see, this is his benefit for. Don't defend those indefensible things. Now, I was just telling you, look at Cocoa Board, which organizes and sells cocoa. Cocoa Board is indebted to the tune of 70 billion. Oyema. So all the cocoa that we are going to sell now, they have done forward sales. And Ghana is going to get more cocoa. The thousands of tons that we are going to sell, we are not going to get any other thing. Cocoa farmers will be losing, Ghanaians will be losing.
All right.
In addition to that, Oyema, you are giving me 5 minutes.
Yeah, but the producer just hinted me. There's another show going to be.
I thought he said 5 minutes. But give me the 5 minutes.
It has exceeded the 5 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes. Oyema, you are talking about, look, where the MPP said in the buffer that they had built for the incoming government to pay the monies that were due to bondholders and others, that they had put millions of cedis. Yesterday, the president made it very clear. Look, that in the dollar account, there was only $64,000. $64,000, oh, not even up to $500,000, not even $100,000. $64,000. That is what they put inside. All the money inside the buffer that they say are built, $64,000.
Okay.
And 146 million Ghana cedis. Paltry amounts that they put in. This is a situation where, under the NDC, they have left 250 million in the sinking fund. So compare $650 million to just $64,000. You see how the MPP pays into insignificance when they are making that comparison. Now, out of the ESLA, they collected over 45 billion Ghana cedis. When they were leaving office now, there's a debt of $70 billion dollars as ESLA debts they have left for the country. Oyema, I can go on and go on about the state of devastation. Right. But President Mahama didn't stop there. He said, why? I have already instructed the finance minister to take steps to make sure that the following measures are achieved. Right. So he's telling you what is achieving. Right. And Oyema, more important, he said oral. Through oral, they have already made sure that they are going to get all the suspects. And he said that some of them who have even run away, they will declare them what? Wanted.
Right.
They will be arrested, prosecuted, and the loot will be recovered. The money